What's going on, Surf City? Coach Doug back here with another Surf City Fitcast. Today, I want to talk to you guys about working out while traveling, staying fit on the go when you're away from your home box and you want to get your fitness on. Got the holidays coming up. We know you guys are going to be traveling here and there, visiting friends, family, relatives, eating all that good food. I want to make sure you guys know what you can do. We're going to offer some tips and tricks and some suggestions to help you keep you guys fit while you're traveling. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First tip is always going to be, if you find yourself in an area where you're away from your home box, one thing I do, one thing hopefully you guys do is, first thing I do is, I go ahead and I look up CrossFit gyms that are in my area. I go ahead and I phone or I just walk in, go ahead and tell me you're there to drop in. Most times they'll have you sign, they'll sign a waiver, hopefully. And then usually what they'll do is they'll have you drop in, you buy a t-shirt, and you go ahead and get your fitness on. If you're going to be there for an extended period of time, maybe like a week, 2 weeks, depending on whatever your schedule's going to be, they can actually work with you to go ahead and talk about like a small rate or like a trial rate, or maybe even like some kind of trial membership, or some kind of arrangement where you can come in and use that gym while you're staying in that area for however long you're staying. So that's tip number one. So tip number two, though, is if you find yourself in a hotel, or if you find yourself in a place where there is no CrossFit gym and you want to get your fitness on, that's what we're going to get into next. All right, gang, so let's go ahead and get into the next piece of this. And that's bringing equipment with you, packing your own stuff into your check bag or even your carry-on bag that you can have with you to work out if you find yourself in a space where maybe you're working out in a hotel room or you can't get to a gym or whatever the case may be. So I want to show you what I always pack with me whenever I go out of town, just to make sure that I got stuff with me that I can use. Obviously, first and foremost is going to be my nanos. I always pack those, and the reason why, hopefully you guys are doing the same thing, but the reason I wanted to show you this is because of how I pack my stuff. So I'll get to that in a second, but I always bring my jump rope with me because that rolls up nice and tight. I got a nice little bag here that I put it in, and then I always bring these. This is the main thing I wanted to show you guys, which is, you've seen these all over the gym. These are the resistance bands that we use for mobility. We use these for all kinds of stuff. These come in different sizes, as you know, but I always travel with 2 green, maybe even like a thicker one if I can fit it, but the thicker ones take up a little bit more space. But I always travel with 2 green bands, and I'm gonna show you why in a second. But before I do that, I want to kind of show you how I put it all together. So as you can see, these bands, whether they're blue or they're green, they actually roll up pretty small, and you can actually stuff these inside of your shoes, along with maybe even like a lacrosse ball or whatever. Again, if I can't fit them into my shoes, I've got this bag that I can usually get my jump rope and one of these bands into. This all takes up very, very little space in my bag, and I've got at least 3 or 4 different things that I can use to program workouts while I'm traveling or while I'm on the go. All right, gang, let's get to the fun part, and that's where I show you guys a couple of things you can do with these bands that you can program into your workouts while you're traveling. First one's going to be that banded good morning. We normally do this as a stretch here at Surf City, but I'm here to tell you that that's also a pretty good exercise for the posterior chain, lower back, hamstring. So let me go ahead and show that one to you real quick. As you guys already know, we're going to go ahead and unroll the band. You're going to place it over your neck, maybe get it a little down, a little lower onto your traps. Then I'm going to go ahead and step into it. So once I step in, I'm going to go ahead and stand up straight, lock out my knees, pull my shoulders back, chest up, create that good curve in our lumbar spine. And all I'm going to do is, with my knees locked out, I'm going to push my hips back with my weight in my heels until I feel my hamstrings catch, right? Once I feel my hamstrings catch, all I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the direction, squeeze the glutes, and come forward, right? Every time I do this, I'm going to come down to about the same point until I feel my hamstrings catch, and then back and forth. This is a great stretch, great movement to do as part of your warm-up, or even as repetitions in a workout. This could actually maybe substitute, if you get a heavier band or if you use 2 of them, could even possibly substitute for a deadlift type movement if you're working out in your hotel room. So go ahead and double up 2 bands. Make sure you got everything locked in nice and tight. We go down and back up again. Right? That's the banded good morning stretch. All right, gang, so we're gonna go rapid fire through the next couple of these, and that's where I show you a couple of movements you can do with 1 or 2 bands that you can go ahead and program into workouts that you're doing on your own while you're traveling. So, first one is gonna be that overhead press. So we get into the band the exact same way that we did for that good morning, except instead of pulling it behind my neck, I bring it up here in the front, into that front rack. You guys can see that. Now, with good position, got my everything nice and tight. Deep breath in, press overhead. 2 hands on that band, making sure, same way we'd use a barbell, right? Get the head forward, fully lock out the arms. Again, that's 1 band. Here, and you can also do a variation with 2 bands. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step in, 1 foot on each band. Same deal, I bring them up and over. And now I've got 2 bands, a little bit more resistance. I can press up into that overhead press, right? That's the banded overhead press. Next movement's gonna be a banded squat, So this one, a little different. We go ahead and we put it, once again, behind the back, trying to get it a little lower, maybe onto our shoulders. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not necessarily on my neck. It's right there, like on my traps, right? Put it on the back. Again, step in to the band. And now from here, I'm simply doing an air squat with a little bit of resistance. So I'm down, up, and then down. Very simple, right? I got that band on. I'm coming down, squatting. Just turn to the side a little bit. There's the band, squat, down. All your techniques here for good squatting come into play, except for I have that band across my back like a barbell. So gang, here's a variation on that banded air squat using 2 bands. All I'm gonna do is, again, put them together. Same deal, right? With those 2 bands married up, get them over the shoulder, step in, same way. And now I've got a bit more resistance as I go down into that squat. All right, gang, and last but not least on these banded exercises is going to be that banded push-up, or maybe even sort of like a substitute for a bench press. What you're going to do is get your hands inside the band just like this, right? Make sure it marries up. Now I'm going to go ahead and get it behind me. If you guys can see that, I'm getting it kind of low on the shoulders, kind of across my scapula, or at least across the Surf City logo on the back of my shirt. And from here, I got it locked in. I'm just going to go ahead and place my hands on the deck. And from here, I start to work, right? Down and up, same way I would for a push-up, except now I've got that added resistance from the band. Right? Pretty simple. If you guys want to make this even harder, you can use 2 bands for this one as well. So that's all I got for you guys on the bands. Let me go ahead and take a quick second and show you guys how you can program workouts while you're away from the gym. All right, gang, so what I want to do is take a couple of quick seconds here and talk to you about how to structure workouts if you're making them up while you're on the go, while you're traveling. All right, first one is going to be task priority. We call that rounds for time. So you say to yourself, these movements that I just showed you, squats, push-ups, burpees, jump rope or double unders, you put them into a complex, and then what you do is you say, okay, after 5 rounds of this complex, the workout is done. Second one's gonna be time priority. Time priority, you guys know it as AMRAP, which means we go ahead and we set a certain time on the clock and we count down, and in that time, you're gonna do as much work as possible before the clock runs out. That's called time priority. The third one I wanna show you is something that I call work rest, and you guys know that as every minute on the minute, or even Tabata, where you actually program in an interval of work and an interval of rest into your workout. So for example, you go ahead and you say, okay, you take a smaller workload, a manageable number of squats, push-ups, burpees, whatever combination you want, and you say, okay, every minute on the minute, I'm gonna do X number of reps, and I have the rest of that minute to recover, and you can extend that for as many minutes as you want, 10, 20, 30, if you're crazy, so on and so forth. And then Tabata, you guys know as 20 seconds on, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Now the standard Tabata cycle is 8 rounds for a total of 4 minutes of work, but you can go ahead and extend that indefinitely for as long as you want to, and you can go ahead and stick with 1 exercise, you can do 2 exercises, you can do 8 rounds of one, 8 rounds of the next, or you can just go ahead and alternate all the way through these for as long as you want. That's 3 ways you can go ahead and structure workouts while you're on the road. So, real quick, just want to go ahead and show you one thing, one idea I had was, something very, very simple. Is just go ahead and, either a descending ladder of work or maybe an ascending ladder. So I'll go ahead and I'll kind of show you what I mean based off of these three items up here. So task priority would be you start 10 reps of each and work your way down. As soon as you're done, you hit that last rep, workout is over, all right? Time priority would be, okay, let's say 15 minutes of work, I want to see how far I can get. Whether it's 10, 11, 12, 20 of each exercise, 20 reps of each exercise in a specific time that I set before I start the workout. So that would be time priority. And then you could even incorporate things like running or jump rope into this workout. So you could just say, hey, 10 reps of each of these, and then like, you know, a minute of double unders or like a 400 meter run, and then 9 reps of each, and then, you know, 30 double unders or a 400 meter run, et cetera, until you finish. Or you can just see how, again, the same principles apply. You can go ahead and set like maybe 15-minute AMRAP and see how far you can go up the ladder in that time. So that's just one way of dozens of different ways you can program workouts while you're traveling. Guys, hopefully you're getting a lot out of these videos. I like shooting them for you. Once again, it's Coach Doug, CrossFit Surf City. This is the Surf City Fitcast. We'll see you guys again soon. Take care.